Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Kaguya-Sama, Love is War. My voice is dying. This is the fourth video of the day, and I still have one more after this, so it's great. We're tired today. Anyway, Miko Ino wants to control herself. She was being a stickler for the rules, so Fujiwara had to show her that, hey, sometimes it's okay to break rules, and now Miko Ino has become a bad girl. I shouldn't say it like that. It sounds weird if I say it like that. Anyway, Kaguya doesn't scare easily. Kaguya and Shirogane were trapped in a shed, and they nearly kissed, and then they were caught by Miko, and that was that. And then Kaguya wants to be examined. Kaguya nearly had a heart attack when Shirogane touched her, and the doctor was like, yo, you're in love. And she's like, no, I'm not. And Hayasaka was shamed for all eternity. So, yeah. Let's just get right to it. Reaction is down in the description in the pinned comments. Let's get moving because I'm tired. Here we go. I don't have the words to describe the feeling I have right now about the cheerleading squad. Hatred is an understatement. You know? Disgust, fear, post-traumatic stress disorder. Just being reminded that people like that exist in this world. It makes me want to go live in the middle of Siberia, where there is no one around for 50 miles. I remember we had... See, this is the thing. This is high school, but I also ran into shit like that in college. It was very early on. I won't say where I went to college, but I took a class. Well, I started to take a class. This was freshman year. First semester I was in college, and this was 2015, fall of 2015. Fuck, that was a long time ago. Fall of 2015 when I started college, and there was a class that was basically like, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but just like, It wasn't an actual, like, class where you, like, learn things. It was just, like, a class. It was like a social class. I don't know. And we did... The first thing that we did, which was the bane of my very existence, which is an icebreaker game. I don't think there is anything in this world that I hate more than an icebreaker game. Because if you do not know, I am an introvert. Now that said, I had friends in high school. I did have friends in high school. And I would talk to my friends in high school, and I wasn't really... I mean, I wasn't loud or anything, but I wasn't, you know, just completely quiet with my friends. I would talk to them. But they were, you know, people. They weren't, you know, automatons trying to blend in as humans, you know? Which is what that cheerleading squad is, you know? That cheerleading squad isn't human. And if this turns out to be Ishigami finds out that the people of the cheerleading squad are actually pretty cool people, and he regrets being, you know, thinking terrible things about them, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, honestly, because, yeah, it's just that residual despair. I literally, that first day, it was the only day I went to that class because I dropped out of it immediately. The first day we had an icebreaker game where we all stood in a circle and we had to say something about ourselves. And I'm pretty sure, again, this was 9 years ago now, but I'm pretty sure it was something where it was like, not only do you have to share something about yourself, but you have to also repeat what the previous person said. If I'm right, it may have also been a thing of you have to remember what every person before you said. Now, not only am I an introvert, I'm an introvert with short-term memory problems, and I have short-term memory problems. And just the pressure that put on me was not what they intended. Because what they intended was, oh, well, it'll be a fun way of everyone getting to know each other. Meanwhile, my anxiety was through the roof. There was also something, and again, oh man, this was 9 years ago, remember. I don't think I still have it, but I took notes. I took notes on everything I hated in that class. Remember, this was one day. I think it was like an hour and 15-minute long class. Like, I'm pretty sure the class didn't even last the whole semester. Like in a semester from late August to early December, I think it like ended in October, like mid-October. I only found that out later though. But that first and only day I was there, I literally wrote down notes of everything I hated about that class. And the reason I wrote down those notes was because at the end of that day, I had to go and pick up my mom. She was at work. We had a weird car situation at the time. So for some reason, I wagered to guess that one of our cars was just not working that day or something. I don't know. For some reason, I had to go get my mom from work and bring her home. And I wrote down those notes because I put them on the dashboard. And I had her read all of those notes so that I would have the most perfect justification for dropping that class, which I did. I think there was also a thing of... There was a thing they said we were going to do where it's like every Friday, I think, someone was going to give a presentation about themselves. Like 5-10 minute presentation about themselves. Or it was like some sort of show and tell thing that was going to happen every Friday. Like someone had to get up and do a show and tell on Friday, and it was like, oh, and you can be anything about yourself. You know, you can even just play your favorite music. You know, and I was like, yeah, you want me to do that? You want me to do that? Like, sure, I can play Ninja Sex Party. Sure, I can do that. I can play Starbomb albums, and I was huge into those at the time. I still am. I'm looking at them right now. They're right over here. All my physical Starbomb and Ninja Sex Party CDs. It's like, sure, I can play that. I don't think you want me to. And just these people where it's just like, what is wrong in your life? What is wrong in your life that you put on this smile? You know? Because this cannot be a natural smile. And people like that. And so seeing Ishigami in the middle of that cheerleading squad, like, I don't want this story to continue. I don't want him to, like, learn any lesson about the cheerleading squad. Because just, I'm glad at least there was the one girl who reached out to him like, hey, you know, what's your email address? Like, that was nice at least. Like, I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying they're bad people. You know? I'm not even saying I'm good people. You know? I'm not saying I'm good people either. You know? But just seeing that, seeing him there with all of them, you know, doing this thing and, you know, trying to come up with hashtags and stuff, and him just sitting, you know, 10 feet away from them at that desk. It's That's terrifying. I hate that so much. And the whole thing, too, of like, oh, and we're just gonna, the girls are gonna wear guy uniforms and the guys are gonna wear girl uniforms. And it's just like, no. No. No, I don't have to humiliate myself. I don't have to do this. I have become Ishigami now. The problem is he's going through a character arc, I think, of some sort. I can't deal with it. I cannot. Don't do it, Ishigami. Don't forgive them for their sins. They do not deserve it. This is dumb. This is dumb, but it's just... I mean, I applaud him for stepping out of his comfort zone. I couldn't do that. I couldn't step out of my comfort zone. I couldn't have done that in high school. I didn't do that in high school. I didn't do that in college either. I mean, like, I had to take a speech class where I had to present in front of people. That was required, though. And it was fine. Like, that speech class, granted, I started a speech class and then dropped out of it, and the next semester I took a different speech class with a different professor who was way better. Because the first professor I tried was like this weird hard ass who was just like, oh, and if you don't like speech, well, you're just gonna have to get over it because you're gonna have to do it. And I was like, I'm out of here. I don't need to do this. It's just, he's like some weird, like, he was basically like turning a speech class into the military. Like, well, you're just gonna suffer through it, and you're gonna give these speeches. And I was just like, no, I'm not. I get to drop out. And I did, and then I had a different professor who, granted, again, I don't fully remember all the details because this was years ago at this point, but I had a different professor for speech, and I stayed in their class because they like knew how to talk to humans. They weren't just a drill sergeant about speech. So I don't know. I mean, if Ishigami can get anything out of this, that's great. But at the same time, well, what he's gotten out of it, well, he's at least gotten two things out of it. One is that he's gotten more of a friendship with Kaguya. Two, he's also gotten a fetish. That's just sort of a side effect. That's the side effect of being friends with Kaguya Shinomiya, is getting a fetish. Oh my god, it really is. I think they all have fetishes because of her. Oh my god. Shirogane's fetish is the Mr. and Mrs. Smith game that the two of them play. Miko? I don't know about Miko. Miko has the Holy Savior fetish. Is that... I don't think... I just made that up, but I think... Yeah. She has the Holy Savior fetish, which is... She goes to the depraved, to the terrible, and she helps them. She makes them better. Ishigami has a drag fetish. Potentially has the please step on me fetish. Fujiwara is a fetish. That's a thing. There are other things this episode we could talk about too. I spent so long. I spent like 15 minutes talking about normal people that I just can't. The whole thing with the ritual was fun. I like that the episode reminded us that Kaguya is a black belt in martial arts. Like, that was really cool. Like, I like that she had to use that literally just to free her hand. And then I like just every time, like, she's getting flustered, just like she's all like good, like completely calm again. So that's good. I like that Miko is just confused. She just doesn't understand the dynamic of this place, so she'll get there eventually. So that was good. It's a good episode. I'm just concerned for Ishigami. I'm just concerned for Ishigami because he... I don't want him to suffer at the hands of normies. I don't want him to become a normie. I want him... Like, forget them. You don't need normal people. You know? You don't need normal people. You just have your small group of people. You know? You have your small group of friends. Your actual friend. The crazy girl you're scared of. And the new girl who doesn't want to talk to you ever. They're his friends. He doesn't need anything else. I want an interaction between him and Hayasuka. Like, I feel like they could kind of be friends, you know? Like, that'd be interesting. Yeah. Forget normies. Embrace Hayasuka. That has no sequitur. That has no relation to anything we've just talked about. I'm just... Hey, if they're all thirsty and this... Which I love to... Like... I love, too, that her, like, image of how thirsty they are, like, it's not... It doesn't cross genders. Like, it's Kaguya and Fujiwara, and then Ishigami and Shirogane. Like, it's... her imagination is running wild. So, she might have needed Glasses Girl to stay with her, just to stay sane, but there, if they're all thirsty for each other, I'll be the one person thirsty for Hayasuka. I say one person. I'm sure there's plenty of other weebs watching this show who are thirsty for Hayasuka, but... Is that it? Have we talked about anything? I don't know. Let's just finish this up. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time, perhaps at the Sports Festival. See you guys there. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video and this overly long, weird discussion. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. Yeah, there's also links in the description, but they're probably the same links. See you guys later.